Hey everyone, welcome back to the New Mexico Lobos Slow Burn Dynasty here on Obscure Victories Gaming. We are in Week 12, Season 1. Just coming off a very close loss to I think they were 9 ranked last week, but number 9 ranked Missouri. Had a chance to win last play of the game, and Guillory, for all he's done for us, dropped the pass at the goal line. So we lost in heartbreaking fashion. But we're ready to move on this week and take on Northwestern. But before we take on Northwestern, we're going to take care of some recruiting, and we'll do some scouting and put together a game plan to hopefully come out victorious in Week 12 here. So to kick off recruiting, we have some pretty big news. Not a signing, but one of the best offensive linemen we were going after, Michael Sisk, he has decided to commit to ULM. We had a visit scheduled with him this week, but he must have liked what he saw down at ULM. We wish him the best of luck, and we'll pivot and see who we can find to fill that gap. But here's what's happening this week. We've got a lot of recruits coming in to visit. Hopefully it's a big win, and we can get a lot of these guys to commit and really let our board kind of take shape so that in the next few weeks we can put a lot of points into our new recruits. So first thing we've got to do is remove Michael Sisk. Look at all these other great recruits we've got. Again, we wish him nothing but the best at ULM. Now with Michael's departure, we've got 600 points available. I think we were putting 500 into him. So quite a few points here now to reallocate. But let's first quick check in with the guys on our board. We got Brandon Williams, 4-star athlete we're after. Only dropping by 40. No scholarship from Colorado State. We're going to keep going after him, and hopefully somebody we can sign very late in the season or into the off season. Dominic Pennington, again, looking really good. My one concern is that he's only at 78% locked. I would like to get him, so I'm going to put 300 into him. And maybe it's something we have to come back and take off, or forget about it and we sign him. Either way, 300 is good. Leon Gore has come in for a visit. Don't have any points on him. He's at 84% locked. I think, with Week 12 here, 13 and 14, I think we can get him into the 90%. But if we have points at the end of this session, we may come back and throw some at him. But he looks like a solid receiver. If you forgot, B speed, B acceleration. He's got some catching skills. So somebody we're really high on to come into our wide receiver room. Sean Bradshaw's coming in this week. We got a JUCO wide receiver. He's our 3-star JUCO guy. He grades out well, and is somebody I think that could step into a starting role almost immediately, if not get a lot of playing time. He's at 76% locked. Again, a guy I think I would like to lock up sooner. So we'll put 200 in him. I just got to remember the guys I'm putting points into in case I need to take them off. So Dominic and Sean may be coming off them. We'll see. Nick Mark is at 94% locked. He's coming in this week. We got 200 points on him. Tulsa is battling us, but I think with 200, I feel comfortable him coming in this week, getting a good visit in, and signing this week. And if not, we will battle it out into the offseason. Marcus Neal, he's been on our board, I think, since day one. Coming in this week to visit. We've got Bryant signed at quarterback, so Marcus would be a bonus. We're going to keep 100 on him for his visit, and hopefully the visit goes really well and he signs. CJ Walters, again, not somebody we were high on, not a dual threat guy. Looks like Boise State's coming up. We'll keep him on the board just because we have a scholarship on him. We've had him on for a while, and maybe Boise State overtakes us, but we'll see what happens here. Is he ready for a visit? No, because we haven't put any points into him. So we'll see how this shakes out. Week 12 is pretty late to be adding guys, but maybe we take him off and try to find a few more guys. Daniel Washington, again, halfbacks, not in need of ours. We continue to climb by 110. We're the only team with a scholarship on him. So I'm feeling pretty good about just continuing to let this ride. Although he's only at 40% locked, So I may try to put some points into him and speed that up because he would be a nice signing. He's got average grades kind of across the board. He's got a spin move, stiff arm, got a little bit of juke move, elusiveness, and trucking. So maybe not the fastest guy, but could help out our backfield. Dwayne Smith, 1-star JUCO. He's at 66 overall. We continue to pull away. He's at 61% lock. This late in the season, we'll probably just continue to ride that out. Again, his grades, good speed and acceleration. Catching isn't quite where we want it to be for a junior college guy, but we'll see how things shake out here late in the season, and maybe somebody that we grab and offer late. Daryl Vincent, battling with Penn State, just visited Penn State and did not sign with them. That bodes well for us. We've got 500 into him, and he's coming in to visit this week. Somebody I'm really high on, even though he only grades out at a 59. He's got good speed, good acceleration, and agility. Man and zone coverage is average. With the C grade, it could be anywhere from, I think, 70 to 79. So Keith Newsome, free safety, out of New Mexico. We haven't offered him. He's coming in this week. I just can't decide if I want to offer him and give him the option to sign this week with 11 scholarships left. I think we've got 11 left. Nope, we've got 16 left. But just not sure I want to use one on him, with 3 weeks to go. So I'll have to think about that and come back to that. Rob Mitchell, looks like just an average tight end, grade-wise. Very average speed, acceleration's low. Blocking isn't quite there, maybe some impact block. Can break some tackles and can truck. Maybe somebody that can move to fullback, but again, fullback's not really a need of ours. So we'll keep 100 on him. We'll keep the scholarship, we'll keep him on the board. He's got good size at 6'3", 232. And I didn't realize this, I don't think. Or maybe I did and I forgot about it, but he is from New Mexico. So again, we want to keep New Mexico as a pipeline state. We want to keep the best guys in state. And signing Rob Mitchell gives us the opportunity to do that. David Davis, this is the big wide receiver we're after. Utah State is now kind of coming full force here. So we're going to bump him up to 500. Is he ready for a visit? Yes, he's coming in this week. He's got Marcus Neal to talk with during the game. 50 points for that. That's great. Nick Anderson dropping by 460 here. Not that far out of it. We've got a visit this week. We put a scholarship into him. I think I might like to try to put 500 into him and see if we can't steal him in week 12 here. So let me move some points around quick because I want to do this right now before I forget. This seems like a priority. All right, so I didn't find a lot of points on the guys we had already went through. So maybe I'll have to find some later on here, but we've got 150 into him. He's coming in to visit. See how many points we can get with the visit here. If we rush for 100, pass for 250, and beat a higher ranked team. What is Northwestern ranked? Interesting. Okay, so we could get rid of that 450, 570, plus 150. Is that 720? So we could pull ahead, by 300 or so, or even get him to sign. So 150, not looking too bad on him. Andrew Lewis pulling away. He's coming in this week. We're going to keep 250 on him. Again, hopefully somebody we can sign this week. That would be a big sign and pair him with Swain. Daniel Clark added later on. He's a fullback tight end type guy. 58 overall. I just couldn't justify putting any points to him, seeing as we don't need a tight end or a fullback. So it looks like Illinois is going to climb into this, but we'll keep a scholarship on him and keep him on the board. Corey Gray, JUCO tackle, somebody I'm really excited about. He's coming in this week. We got 500 on him. We're the only team offering, only one with a visit right now. tempted to pull some points off him and give them to Nick Anderson. We'll drop Corey Gray down to 300, move Nick Anderson to 350. Michael McCauley, 65 overall D-end, putting 500 into him, pulling away by 125. Is he ready to visit? But looking at Michael here, not the speed we're looking for. He's got decent acceleration and strength, which is a positive. He's got some finesse moves and some block shedding and tackle well. So it doesn't necessarily fit our speed profile, but the acceleration's up there enough. And again, the speed at a D grade can be all the way up to I think 69, so that wouldn't be the worst speed. Ted Bailey, wide receiver, we added a little bit later as well here. You got good speed, acceleration. Catching isn't quite there. You can release though, and his rushing grades don't look too promising. But again, I got to keep reminding myself, and I kind of forget this, for the first 11 weeks. But a grade of a D can be anywhere from 60 to 69, I think. So, or maybe they include what's the lowest that you've ever seen anybody, 50 to 69. So not out of the question that he could jump up with some of the receiving and rushing stats. But even at 60 overall, he's good enough to develop in our system and be a player, his last 2 years here. Freddie Clark, we just took the lead on, 60 overall cornerback, good speed and acceleration, zone coverage is up there. So it kind of fits that speed profile. Zone coverage is something we're probably going to have to stick with for a few years here. That gives us the best advantage on defense. Not even advantage, but the best chance on defense. So he fits that. We'll keep 350 on him. And a scholarship, is he ready to visit? I didn't think so. Josh Smith, another guy we added late. Looks like we're gonna lose out to Rutgers here. They've got a scholarship on him, and they're moving up 135. So maybe somebody that we pull off the board quick here. We'll see. Clarence Williams, putting 500 into him, another good free safety. Again, free safety and strong safety are a need of ours. We've got one free safety signed. We've got a cornerback signed that can maybe move to free safety, but Clarence Williams would really help us out in that aspect. So we're going to drop him to 450 and give him a scholarship. Freddie Simmons, wide receiver. Again, one of the later adds here, but good speed, good acceleration. Route running is at average. Everything else kind of grades out at a D. But again, somebody who looks good enough to get into our system, develop, and become a solid player for us. So we'll keep him, I think, at 275, keep climbing, and see where we end up with him. Joshua Carlton here, getting 500. Not sure how I justified this with everybody else we have on our board that needs points. So I'm going to start by taking 500 off him. But let's check out his grades here. Great speed and acceleration. He's got a stiff arm, spin move. He can truck, elusive, he can juke. So I guess that's maybe why I put 500 on him. He's 65 overall. Somebody right at our threshold here, out of Wisconsin. 6'2", 200. He looks pretty good. I'm actually going to add 100 back onto him. That was too enticing to pass up. But we do have 400 points now to spread out. We got James Campbell, 70 overall, free safety, JUCO, out of California, 2-star, 6'2", 210, gaining 395 on him. Again, safeties are a high need of ours. So I think I'm going to put 100 into him, get him going, get some momentum with him, see if we can't climb up his board fast. So we've got 300 left to spend. I'm just going to go through again the list of guys, and then I'll show you guys where I put the points. All right, so I went back to Nick Anderson, again, somebody I want to get a lot of points into, see if we can't sign him this week, and if not, put us in a good position to sign him in the off season. So he's got 500. I just think O-line is something that we got to shore up and get moving. We've got 3 freshmen that look solid, but I don't want to have any gaps where we miss out on years of having good offensive linemen. And I'm pretty sure Nick Anderson is going to be higher than 60. So he's getting 500. And then I put the rest of our points into Freddie Clark. Again, I just think I like having solid corners. I think Freddie and Darryl fit into the system we're going to have now with good enough speed and acceleration, and then that zone coverage. Lastly, we got to wrap up one more visit here. Rob Mitchell wants to come in. We'll get him in this week. He's got a bonus with Marcus Neal. That's great. And then with one spot available on our recruiting board, I just want to go find the best available here. See if we can't luck out signing somebody late. So I'm just looking at the best overall, 65, around 65 overall guy. So I'll look through the recruits and I'll show you who I find. Alright, it didn't take me too long. I ended up finding Arnold Carter, a 6'6", 248-pound athlete out of Wisconsin. It's just too tempting for me to pass on an athlete. It looks like he might be an O-line type guy, average speed, maybe a D-line guy. He's got some tackle, some play rec. So maybe a D-tackle, D-end, offensive line type guy. But his measurables look good. And again, I couldn't pass up on an athlete that was available. So that's our full recruiting board. That is it for recruiting. And with our recruits fully checked in, taken care of, we got a full recruiting board. Let's jump into scouting. All right, let's check out their coaching staff first here. David Braun is the head coach. Offensive playbook is going to be Northwestern. Spread, they're going to run a little bit more than they pass. They're going to be fairly conservative. Again, do I know exactly what those mean? Not really. I should maybe look it up. And if anybody knows, please inform me, drop it in the comments. But right now I'm just assuming that they don't take as many big shots if they're conservative. Maybe not as many trick plays and things like that. Defensively, they're in a 4-3, defending the run and the pass equally, and slightly more aggressive, which again I'm assuming is going to be more blitzing. Skill-wise, David Braun is level 33. He's had quite a bit of bonuses here. The ones that really concern me are going to be the big game ones. We're not in a rivalry game with them, so that doesn't affect us. But when they call a timeout, they can get their players to very hot and hot. So that's concerning. And they do have Coach Adamas level 2, which allows them to maybe identify some plays that we're going to run. They can blow them up easily. Defensively, they got Jim O'Neill, level 10. Looks like he's got some bonuses for the D-line here. The block shedding, I guess, can be for everybody. And then the D-line is maxed out. And then some zone coverage here for everybody. So those will come into play. Offensively, they got Joe Rudolph, level 10. He's got the stamina. He's got the carrying. Quarterback gets a bump here, which is nice for them. And then their running backs, or anybody who carries the ball, is going to get bonuses here. So we'll have to keep that in mind as we play defense. And we'll have to focus on, not using speed bursts all the time as we tackle. All right, personnel-wise, looks like they've got a really good team here. I'm not sure of the record, but I think it was like 4-5, something like that. We'll have to double check. But we do get a bonus for our recruits visiting if we beat a higher ranked team. So they're going to be higher ranked than us. And just looking at these first few guys on their board here, they're much better than us. So maybe they've had a tough schedule. They do play in the Big Ten, so that's never easy. But we'll start. Casey Baker, starting quarterback, is injured. I think it's 1 week when I looked earlier. So we'll start with Brian Williams. Brian looks like a really good running back. Good speed, acceleration, agility. All the running back attributes you want, he's got them. He can truck, he's elusive, he can break tackles, he's got good vision. And the stiff arm, spin, and juke are all up there too. He can catch a little bit out of the backfield. So we have to keep that in mind. And then his stamina is really good, so he'll be on the field quite a bit. Steve Dahl is their backup quarterback, but he's also their third best offensive player. So they don't lose much when he comes on the field. I think the only difference between him and Casey, their starter, is the speed. So Steve Dahl is not a scrambling quarterback. You can see his speed's 59. His awareness is decent. maybe not as high as you would like, but his throw power is up there and his throw accuracy is incredible. Again, he's not going to run, so break tackle, elusive, none of that is there. But a really solid quarterback. He's going to make it difficult for our guys in the passing game. Quentin Dingle, he is injured, so we're not going to scout him. Go ahead and jump to Mike Harris, their backup running back. So their backfield is pretty stacked, but I think they're all seniors. Let's double check. Senior. Yeah, so they're going to lose all these guys next year, but they've got them this year. We've got to face them. So Mike Harris, again, a solid running back, 87 overall, 93 speed, 97 acceleration, good agility. He can break some tackles. His carrying it might be a little bit low, but 77 is not bad. He's elusive. He's got good vision. Strength is a little bit low, but stiff arm's fairly high. Spin move is great. Juke move is good. Route running out of the backfield is going to be good too. So another solid backup in the backfield for them. Then we've got Chris Avery, left guard, junior at 86 overall. Got good speed, acceleration's great. Awareness might be a little bit low, but his pass blocking is really good. Run block's up there, impact block is up there, and he's pretty strong too. Stamina might be a little bit low. I don't know, that might be average for linemen though. And injury is at 99. Defensively, we're going to start with Gregory Stone, 6'2", senior, left end, 90 overall, 87 speed, 89 acceleration. He's going to be a problem on the edge here. Not only does he have that speed, he's got the agility, he's got the strength, some power moves, finesse moves, he can block shed, he tackles well, pursuit. So a complete package here at the end. Next we've got John Allen, middle linebacker, 86 overall, 85 speed, 95 acceleration. Tackling's good, play rec is really good, block shedding's really good. Pursuit might be a little bit low, and his zone coverage and man coverage looks to be good for a linebacker as well. Hip power's up there. He's pretty strong. He's going to be a problem on defense for us. Then at right end we got Josh Dunlap, 84 overall, 80 speed, 91 acceleration. So they're DNs. They've got speed. He's got good agility. Strength is a little bit low maybe, but strong enough probably against our guys. Tackle is decent. He's got power moves, finesse moves, block shedding is okay. Good pursuit, good hip power. We're going to have to be really aware of these DNs. Hopefully we can get them to bite on some read options and get them out of the play fast. Antoine Green is our third DN. Another good DN for them. Maybe not as fast, but his acceleration's up there. Got good strength, good tackle, good power moves. Finesse moves might be a little bit low, but he can block shed. Pursuit's good. Hip power's really good. So a good DN for them as they rotate those guys in. And then we'll take a look at Todd Fry, left outside linebacker, 82 overall, 78 speed, 80 acceleration, good tackling, play rec. Might be low, but I don't know what they expect or what the average is in this game for linebackers, but 71's not terrible. Block shedding is good, pursuit's good, zone coverage, man coverage good, hip power's really good. So another guy we have to be aware of the front seven. So all of the best defensive players are going to be, we got 2 at linebacker, 3 on the D-line. I don't know where Antoine Green will play, but he'll rotate in there. So our O-line is going to have their work cut out for them. All right, next let's go through the depth chart, see if we can find any weaknesses here. Okay, we already saw Casey Baker is injured for 1 week, so he's just going to miss our game. Steve Dahl will step in. Again, not quite the runner you can see, although Casey Baker, maybe not an explosive runner, but can run well enough, where Steve Dahl, I don't think is really even a threat to run. Brian Williams we saw, really good running back. Mike Harris backing him up. They got a good freshman here coming in for the next few years, and another decent one behind him. Fullback we're not too worried about. Not many teams use him, but he looks pretty decent. Wide receivers at 82 overall, top 2. Matches up well with our cornerbacks. We've got Chad James at 83 overall and Jimmy Jackson at 83 overall, so that'll be a good battle. Basically a wash. We may win some, they may win some. Hopefully our guys can just play more consistent. Paul Harrison looks like a really good freshman for them. He would match up against Cornelius Houston, who's a 68 overall. So they may have that matchup there, although Cornelius is kind of playing above his overall, which is good to see. They've also got, their 4 and 5 receiver are good as well, and their 6th is, an average senior. Tight end wise, Deanne Reed looks like a really good freshman for them. Wow, they really had a good recruiting class come in. Another freshman behind him, so 2 really good tight end, and then a good tight end. Offensive line wise, Brent Roth, 78. Left guard at 86, we saw center at 78. Right guard at 89. He is out, so it looks like Jeff James will step in there at 81. And then right tackle is 81. So on the line wise, it's a center. We've got 2 really good D tackles now. Dustin Bowling and Craig Swain. Craig Swain bumped up to 84 overall a few weeks ago. Dustin Bowling's 83 overall. So matched up with their interior, it's going to be a pretty good battle here with, their backup right guard, their center at 78, and their left guard at 86. Defensively, we saw left end Greg Stone, we saw right end Dunlap, and Antoine Green in there. D tackle wise, they got 2 77s here, matched up against, I think, our freshman center, Derek Long, who's 65 overall, so he's going to have his work cut out for him, although he's been playing decent enough for a freshman. And we've got Kelly Smith, I think, still out, our right guard. So Joe Green is stepping in. He's 65 overall as well, a freshman. So they're going to have their work cut out with these 2 guys. And then we got left guard freshman Bobby Graham. So we've got 3 freshmen on our interior line, which I don't think I fully realized until right now. All of them at 65. Bobby Graham's a 67. So although Bobby Graham might be one that lost his starting job, and Joe Green is there at 65. So our interior line, very young, very inexperienced. We'll have their work cut out for them against these 2 guys. Linebacker wise, we saw Todd Fry, decent speed, acceleration, 82 overall. Middle linebacker John Allen, we saw Andy Gray's behind him. A good speed, acceleration for these 2 guys. Damon Woodward, redshirt freshman, 73 overall, although it says he is an impact player. He's got good speed, acceleration's up there, but at 73 overall on their right side, maybe something we try to target. Cornerbacks, 82 overall, 76 and 76. I like that matchup with our wideouts. As we go, Adam Williams at 86 would match up, hypothetically with Devin Griffin. Alex Sanders is a 76, and then Joe Blount is a 75. So good matchups here. Again, Adam Williams, if he really starts playing up to his overall, which he hasn't yet, coming back from his injury, he could really take over this game. Free safety, 72 overall. Again, something we could target, redshirt freshman. We'll have to keep this in mind as we maybe take some deep shots, because their strong safety is 81 overall. So maybe try to target, Boyd's side of the field. If we can remember, he's number 45, or where he will play. It'd be nice to identify him. Kicker, 79 overall, 85 kick power, 75 accuracy. So not the best kicker as a junior, but certainly can make enough field goals for them. Punter's got 93 kick power, kick accuracy. So you could pin us deep. So their kicking game looks solid enough. There's kick returners, punt returners. And Quentin Dingle is their long snapper, but he's injured. So Chris Avery will be the long snapper. All right, let's check out injuries quick. We still got Kelly Smith, still out for 5 weeks. So we'd have to make a bowl game for him to continue to play this year. But he's got 1 more year left. For Northwestern, and Casey Baker's out 1 week. And then Quentin Dingle is actually out for this season for them. So that's a big blow to them. All right, so after scouting their players and their coaches, I think game plan wise, strategy wise, play action I think is going to be used sparingly. Again, we've got those young linemen in the interior. I think play action can put a lot of stress on them. So we'll use it sparingly. The run advantage, I think, goes to Northwestern with their defensive line matching up against our O-line. Their linebackers against our running backs. But I still think we can run the ball effectively. We've kind of proven that all year long. Passing advantage offensively, I like our wideouts matched up against their corners. I think Adam Williams, with all the rust is shaken off, I think he can have a huge game. Defensively, I'm comfortable going man coverage. I really like our top two corners, Chad James and Jimmy Jackson against their guys. Zone coverage is always in play. I'd feel comfortable blitzing out of man, although we'll primarily probably go zone coverage, blitz out of zone coverage, but more so than I think previous weeks, we'll blitz out of man and go man coverage as well. Run advantage, I think, is a wash. I didn't feel like we overmatched them or they overmatched us. I know our D tackles are really good and they match up well if they're interior guys, but on the edge it might be a wash. Passing advantage, defensively, again, I think our top two guys match up really well with their top two guys. I think ours are 83, their top two guys are 82. It's going to be a good matchup, but I feel comfortable, again, putting them in man, blitzing out of man with those two guys, covering them. Cornelius Houston's going to have a big game. Again, he's been playing above his overall, I think, all season long from what I've seen. All right, scouting strategy and game plan is done. Last thing to do here in this episode is to spin the event wheel and find out what's going on with our team. All right, first one we got is arm talent. So Lewis Wheatley will get +3 to throw power, throw accuracy, and awareness. So that would be a big get for us. That should really help out Lewis. Next we got running back one injured. And if you saw the previous episode, you saw that Dukes lost his starting job to Kroll. So Kroll is now our number one. But Kroll is now injured with the event wheel here, so then Dukes will become our starter this week. And we'll make those changes now. All right, that'll do it for this episode. We've recruited, we scouted, we are ready to take on Northwestern. This is a big game for us. Northwestern is 4-5. They're looking to win out their last two. We're looking to win out our last two. Or it looks like they got 3 games left. But evenly matched. Their offense, a grade better than ours. The matchup is slightly leaning towards Northwestern, but not by a lot. We've got a lot of prospects coming in this week. We've got a lot to prove after, kind of a tough stretch of 3 games here. I think our guys will really rebound. I think Coach Episelva Boytot is going to get them ready to play here. Kirk is going with us, which is good to see. I'm not sure why that is after our last 3 games and the rankings we have against Northwestern, but we'll take that. That's a good sign. So be sure to catch the next episode as we take on the Northwestern Wildcats. Thanks for watching, everyone.